Good afternoon, Penny. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for applying for work through Randstad. I see that we have placed you in the past, so it's great to welcome you back, and I'm sure that we will be able to place you again. So just to do a quick recap so we can share with some of our clients, I understand that you have about 10 years of HR experience.
Yes.
Okay, and what were you doing in HR?
In my most recent role, my title was the director of HR. It was a one-person office for that role. I did all of the onboarding, file maintenance, background checks, drug screens, OSHA, workman's comp, risk management, uh, performance evaluations, just everything related to human resources, and that also included benefits
Okay.
programs.
Did you do recruitment as well?
I did the recruitment while I was at AO Precision. I did recruiting for the manufacturing company, both in and out of state recruitment.
Okay, great. Good to hear. All right. And I also understand that you have payroll experience. How many
Yes,
years of payroll do you have?
6. I did payroll.
Okay.
I did payroll with the most recent role that was human resources slash payroll. So,
Okay.
and it was start to finish. And then prior to that was with Del Air Heating and Air Conditioning. I was there for almost 3 years, and I was the payroll administrator, processing payroll from start to finish to include deductions, benefits, etc., for 700 plus employees.
That was my next question. Up to 700 plus employees. Okay. That was a long job or a busy job, I'm sure. All righty.
Yeah, they were paid weekly.
And what software did you use to process payroll at those companies?
I've used Ultimate, Kronos, SmartLinks, and ADP. Oh, and
Okay. And oh, and I'm sorry?
Empower.
Empower, okay. And then what about with HR? What software are you familiar with?
ESS, PeopleSoft. Um, Gosh, I'm trying to remember all of them.
Have you used Workday?
No, I3 Screen. I think it was called I3
Okay,
Screen.
okay.
Um,
And
Aka.
have you ever Aka? Okay.
I had to do
Have you
Aka searches and qualifications through their platform.
okay.
But um, gosh, there were so
Have you ever
many.
worked with Salesforce?
No, Kronos. That was one of them.
Kronos? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, what about your Microsoft Office experience or Excel, within the Office platform, Excel, Microsoft Word?
Oh gosh, yeah. Since that I was a police officer,
Okay.
we were using Microsoft then already. Like we started with the Outlook and
Okay. And what type of experience do you have in Excel? Were you creating spreadsheets or were you entering data into spreadsheets?
both. I would say entering the data. I'm really good at that.
Hmm.
Managing an Excel spreadsheet, putting one together, I would say I'm kind of intermediate. I can't do those long triple page spreadsheets, and I'm not very well versed with pivot tables. I can enter the data to a pivot table, but I have yet to master creating one.
Okay. Well, I think that that's fair in saying intermediate because some people don't even know what a pivot table is. Knowing what it is and knowing what it does, I feel does bring you above just data entry. So I would definitely say, intermediate level for that. For working through formulas and you know, creating what you need to do. Pivot tables and like macros, that's going to bring it up a whole nother level to like more an advanced level. So for the type of positions that you'd be applying for, I think the entry to intermediate is where we typically look for that type of experience. Okay, great. And then let's see here. As far as what type of position that you're looking for, what are you looking for ideally?
I really like human resources a lot. I like problem solving, troubleshooting for the employees, working with the employees, doing the onboarding process, backgrounds, etc. But I
Mhm.
absolutely love payroll. So I hope,
Okay.
if I get a human resources position, I
Mhm.
almost hope every time that payroll is somehow incorporated with it.
Okay.
I like numbers a lot, in that respect, processing payroll. I love finding the problems and then trying to solve them. When I was at Dell Air, my boss, Candy, would tease me because if I was 2 cents off on my upload, she would always tell me, just ignore it. It's probably, just a rounding issue. No, after payroll was processed, because we had a timeline, I would go back and find the 2 cents.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. I have a little OCD. I can relate with that.
Like, OCD is
So,
definitely a good description.
can you describe your approach to employee relations? That's always a tricky part of HR.
Listening. It's a lot of listening. You need to listen to what
Hmm.
the employee's problem is, and you can't go in there head on thinking that you always have the resolution. You have to be able to let someone know, hey, look, I may not have that answer for you, but I will try to find it. I will do what I can to help you resolve your problems. Sometimes you can't. And that's when the employee gets frustrated with you, because you're supposed to be the know all of everything, because that title, human resources, kind of dictates that. But if you can communicate with them in a comfortable fashion, they tend to be more accepting of what you're going to tell them. And surprisingly so, they will actually sit down and try and work with you. And 9 times out of 10, you find the resolution together. And
Yeah, absolutely.
that's always good. When there's conflict, I'll separate people, talk to each one individually. And this is where I guess law enforcement comes into play. I evaluate what I'm reading and pay attention to the way it's being explained to me before I make a decision. I just don't make a decision because someone says this is how it is. No, I will look into what I have to get the answers that I'm looking for.
Okay, great answer. How do you stay current with employee laws and regulation? Because, you know, as we know that everything has really drastically been changing um, in that aspect of HR.
Like wherever I'm working, it depends on like the field. Like if you're working in a nursing home or for a heating company, I try to attend different webinars. And I do it on my own a lot too, to see what's new or and payroll law. Typically, the CFO of the company would bring me the information for me to learn and get versed on regarding payroll law, and how to process things and how you handle things on with that respect. But with human resources, again, it's the same thing. You just get those updates, those newsletters from different from your own resources to keep up to date with them.
Okay, great. And then what steps have you used in the past for talent acquisition, recruitment? What do you find works best for you?
um when I look at somebody's resume, I'm pretty focused on the position that I'm trying to fill. If I'm trying to fill a slot for a CNA that wants to work nights, I'm not going to hire an LPN that wants to work days. So
Okay.
I pay attention to the need and the company needs when I'm doing the recruitment, as far as the caliber of the candidate that I would like to bring into the company. I look for longevity, commitment, work ethic. Like we I always say there's a grand tool in skilled nursing homes, and that's ACA. It literally will list every job a CNA has had or an LPN has had, because they have to be they have to be ACA cleared to work in a nursing
Hmm.
home. And there are some that come in with like a list of 25 jobs and had their license for 2 years. I don't
Hmm.
think I would hire you. So, I understand they move where the money is. That's very typical in that workspace, but if they've had that many jobs, no. So, which I try to find someone who's not a job hopper.
Yes, I understand that for sure. Well, thank you for going over some of the questions that I had. I still have some more for you that I'd like to talk about, but I'm going to do that offline. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We just do a little clip to include with your profile. So don't go
Oh,
anywhere. I'm just going to stop it and be right back.
okay.